I have this slide intro here. It's a little bit boring. So what I'm going to do with this is I want to create an animation here to pop it up a little bit. First thing I want to do is I just want to show you that if I click it, there it is. That's what the intro looks like. It's not too exciting. So really I want something a little bit more punchy. A little bit of an animation in here would be good, and it'll also be a good way for me to demonstrate animations to you. I'm going to come in here and make this animation work in the following way. The Microsoft PowerPoint instructor Bill Sweeney will start off not showing on the screen. The screen will be black, and what you'll see is, remember, your audio setup wizard. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to be able to click my space bar and the word Microsoft will appear, the PowerPoint will slide on screen, the instructor will appear, and Bill Sweeney will slide on the screen. That will be my little animation. To begin this, I'm going to choose the word Microsoft and I'm going to select it. I'm going to go into the animation. I have a whole bunch of really cool animations here, and I quickly will show them to you. You click and drop down. There they are. There's a bunch of them. I really do recommend that you take a look at all these animations. But I've already made up my mind as to what animations I'm going to use here. And I also want to caution you that when you do this, you don't want to get too crazy with it. But you just want to make something that visually looks good. My idea for this is that I'm going to use the fade for the word Microsoft. So I'm going to click on fade. There it is. It actually applies it. And if you look over here in your animation pane, there's the actual animation segment being displayed. Over here on the screen, there's an indicator that there's an animation. And over here, you have a little star that will play the animation, which is very helpful. So watch when I do that. There's the animation. I'm not crazy about the way it looks. There's a way that I can modify it. I'm going to show you that. Right here, I'm going to click this down arrow, and I'm going to come to Effect Options. And when I come into Effect Options, I got a panel that pops up. There's an effect, a timing, and a text animation. What I want to do is I want to play around with the timing. Notice that the first thing it says is Start, meaning how does this animation start? This animation starts on click. I'm going to leave it that way because that's exactly what I want. I want to be able to click the spacebar key, and I want this animation to play or progress. But I want to have a little bit of a delay on this, so I'm going to add a 0.5 delay, which is half a second. That's essentially what that means. 0.5 is half a second. The other thing is the duration. Right now, this is set up to go very fast, half a second. I find that that's a little too fast generally. So I usually will choose to go 1 second. So here's what I have for this first part of my animation. I have it set on click with a 0.5 second delay and a 1 second very fast duration. I'm going to click OK, and there it is. It demonstrates it for you, and that's exactly what I want. It looks right. I'm going to leave that alone. So the next thing I'm going to do is come down and select the word PowerPoint. What I'm going to do at PowerPoint is I'm going to try another animation, and that is a fly-in. So this way, the PowerPoint's going to come flying in as opposed to fading in. So two things are going to happen with my animation. The word Microsoft will fade in, the PowerPoint will slide in. I think that'll look pretty good. First thing I noticed, though, that when I come and play this, there's Microsoft, there's the slide in. I don't like the look of the slide in. I don't want it coming from the bottom. I don't want it to interfere with the text. I want it to come maybe from the left in. I can do that up under Effects Options. I click on that, and notice that there are a whole bunch of different ways that I can make this thing slide in. If I look right here, I see it says from left. That's it. That's what I want. There it is. Perfect. Okay, so also notice now that I've added another animation segment up into the animation pane. I've also added a little icon onto the slide itself, and here, if I click on this, you see both of my animations. Okay, this isn't quite doing what I want yet. So how I deal with that is I come over here and I click on the little drop down on the appropriate animation segment, which is the word PowerPoint, and I click on the effect options. Now I get my effect options dialog box. I have two things. I have the effect itself and I have the timing. The first thing I'm going to do is come over here and I'm going to modify the timing. There's more to it. What I want to have happen is, since I have the word Microsoft starting on click, I want this PowerPoint to follow it. So I'm going to come down and see what kind of choices I have. I have on click, I have with previous, I have after previous. I'm going to choose after previous. Reason I'm doing that is there's a clock there and it enables me to put a delay in, which I'm going to do. So I'm going to type in a 0.5 second delay. The other thing that I want to do is take a look here again with duration. It's set to 0.5 very fast. Personally, I think it's a little too fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down and I'm going to make it 1 second fast. So my settings will be after previous with a 0.5 second delay, 1 second fast. Go back to effects. There's a number of different effects that I can play with here. First of all, I'm going to leave this coming in from left because that's what I chose and that's what I want. I can have a smooth start, a smooth ending, or a bounce ending. A bounce ending actually might look pretty cool with this. What it'll do is it'll kind of like bounce off of a make-believe wall or an invisible wall that's there. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to drag this over to like maybe, I don't know, 25, I guess. Let's see what 25 does. And I'm going to hit OK. And there's my little effect. Okay? Actually, the bounce doesn't quite look enough to me. So I'm going to come in here and bring it back up, the effects options up again. And I'm going to bump this up a little bit to say around 45. Let's try about 45. See how that looks. Hit OK. That's a little bit better. That's a little bit more pronounced bump. So that's my setting. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move down to the word Instructor. And I'm going to select the word Instructor. Notice that the word Instructor and Bill Sweeney are in the same box. So you have to be aware that the way you select this is going to affect this entire box. So it's important for you to know, like in this case, I'm going to select the word Instructor. I would like that word to be my animation next. I'm going to use another fade for that. So I click on that and now I have a fade. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up some settings for that. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to choose Effect Options. When the Effect Options come up, I don't need to do anything with the effect, but I do need to mess with the timing again. I don't want this to be on click. What I want is after previous once again. So now I'm saying after previous, which previous would be PowerPoint. So how this is working essentially is Microsoft comes up first, after that PowerPoint, and then Instructor. That's what this after previous thing. So after previous, I'm going to set a delay of 0.5 and I'm going to set a duration of 1 second fast. And I'm going to hit OK. There it is. So let's see, we've got 3 things here, we've got 3 things here, and it should all be correct. We also have 3 little icons, and over here we have our play animation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the play animation and let's see what we have so far. Microsoft, PowerPoint, Bill Sweeney, or Instructor. Very good, so that's it. We're in good shape. So now I'm going to finish this thing by just clicking on Bill Sweeney. I'm going to select Bill Sweeney. Now this will be the last part of my animation, and then we'll preview it. I'm going to use a Flyin for that as well. So I got a Flyin. Again, you see it comes up from the bottom. It's not what I want. Come over here to the effect options. It's going to come in from the left just like the other. There we go. That's exactly what I want. We're close. Again, now notice I've added an icon here, and I have another line within my animations pane for Bill Sweeney. So let's change a few of the things that are happening with Bill Sweeney. I'm going to click on the effects option. I'm going to leave alone from left. Let's go to timing first. I'm going to click on the timing, and I'm going to also set this to be after previous. I'm going to give it a delay of 0.5 once again, and to change the duration from a very fast to just fast. But I want to come back to the effects, and once again I want to come in and I want to put a bounce on the end of this. So I'm going to drag this thing over to like 45 again. So now I have a 45 bounce on that as well. And hit OK. And there it is. So the animation is essentially done. All I have to do is test this thing to see if it works. So to do that, I'm going to go up to Slideshow. And I'm going to click on From Current Slide. This is what I wanted to see. I come into the room, the screen is black, it says remember your audio setup wizard. When I click on the space bar to start the animation, watch what happens. The word Microsoft comes up, PowerPoint slides in, Instructor comes up, and Bill Sweeney. There it is. It's perfect. It worked exactly the way I want. Hit Escape. I'm back in here. I'm going to go Control S or Command S to save it. It's done. Why don't you give it a try?